Hey everybody, it's Jim from Slick Audio. I'm going to talk today about a topic that seems to be buzzing again and has been for a better part of 8-10 years, I guess, plus or minus, don't hold me to the number, and that is digital versus CD versus now vinyl again, which is just blowing me away. It's like, well, why not the 8-track too, and the cassette, and what about the reel-to-reel? But, as funny as we can laugh at that, but there are people that actually I still have a reel-to-reel here, believe it or not, and I don't have it hooked up to my system actively anymore, but it's still here, and I still have recordings. And I don't know how many of you have cassette decks in your stereos in your living rooms, or family rooms, in the case of my house. But I don't use it anymore, but it's still freaking there. But the interesting part, and if any of you have an 8-track, it's time to move on. But this thing sucked ass. I hated them. So, this is actually a funny topic because it's been the source of a lot of argument. It's been the source of a lot of it's turmoil. So let's get into it, shall we? Digital versus CD versus vinyl. So we just read, Chris and I read an article this morning that briefly said, digital kills CD. Is anybody going to miss it? Hell yeah. I want a tangible product for when the internet completely crashes, and someday it will. I mean, remember, guys, I've been in IT for 35 years. I could actually say 35 years. I think it's been 35 years this month. Dear God, I'm getting old. Yeah, June. It's been 35 years. I'm getting old. So, how does one quantify and qualify this? Very simple. So, convenience, come on, digital hands down. We know that. Sound quality, digital, last frickin' place. So far back that you can't see it. Then the war is between CD and vinyl. I want a tangible. Personally, I want a tangible product. When I buy music, I want a tangible product. I want to hold the product. I want to put it in my vault. So if I, someday don't want internet, which I probably someday may not want internet, considering what I do for a living, folks, I want to pop in a CD and listen to pristine music, perfect music, or vinyl. I still have shit ton of vinyl. Actually it's down here with us in the studio here. But what I'm trying to get at is let's talk about quality. So, all right, let's talk about the digital versus, digital downloads, MP3, FLAC, lossy and lossless downloads, and then, kind of break that and move this, compare them against the two lossless formats, one being digital, one being analog, CD and LP. So let's look at all that, if we will. So looking at the digital side of it, meaning the download side, it's very convenient. It's very cool. Obviously, it's less expensive because you don't have packaging. But the bitch is, if you notice, it's not much that much less expensive. So, artists, come on, I'm an artist too. You got to make money. I understand that. So, if we understand that, and get all that stuff out of the way, let's just look at pure quality. Forget the price. Let's take price and throw it out the window for the time being, and let's just talk, formats, pluses and minuses. So, in the download world, we have MP3, which is obviously the most common. It's also the crappiest sounding format there ever was freaking invented next to the 8-track. It's horrible. And even then I'd question how, I don't know. I hate lossy formats. They're terrible. If you're buzzing in a car, that's fine. And I mean, look, don't get me wrong. My iPhone has got tens of thousands of songs on it. 256 gig damn thing's filled. So, and I own them. The thing is I own the damn CDs along with it. So just go figure on that one. But that being the case, it's like I understand there's a time and a place for an MP3. They still sound like crap, but in the car, if I'm in the vet, it's a fairly loud car, and I don't listen to music that much. But if I do, I really can't hear high fidelity audio in it anyways. I mean, if I quiet it down and put it in eco mode, who the hell wants to do that? But if I do, then I can actually hear the music. It's like a 10 speaker friggin' Bose system in there. That sounds pretty good. And then it would be like, okay, but you still can't, 50, 60 dB road noise, you can't hear that. So that's the case. That's where I say, okay, MP3 is fine. So in Jim's opinion, Slick Audio's opinion, Jim's opinion, MP3 is great for mobile. You're cutting the grass, you got headphones on, you're driving in your car, so you have the convenience, and you have shite quality, but you do have the convenience and mobility, if you will, of the format. Now, there is another lossless format that people overlook. There's actually several. Ogg Vorbis is one, just never really took off. FLAC seems to be, a great one that people are actually, it's stayed alive for some reason. And look, FLAC files are still large. They're way larger than, the MP3 files are. And of course, an MP3, one last thing on that, you do know there's, 128K is like, you could do less than that, but that's like the minimum what people normally do. They sound like real dirt. And you could take them up to 320 kilohertz, and that at least sounds okay. When I rip mine for my phone, I rip them at 256 or 320, and it's just because, I at least want okay sounding shit files. So, that being the case, it is what it is. Chris laughing. So in the FLAC world, that's a lossless. That's what they call lossless compression. So lossy and lossless. I guess I better explain that. So let me sidebar here for a second. A lossy compression means, what's compression? Compression means that I'm going to use a mathematical algorithm to shrink a file. So that mathematical algorithm, let's say, this is easier to understand in the JPEG world, for example, in the print world, photographs. So in a JPEG, for example, what it does is it maybe looks for a string of white. So it will, instead of writing out each dot of white, pixel of white going across the screen from here to here, which there would be, thousands and thousands of, what it does is it says, oh, there's, 10,020 white pixels, starting from here going, to here. And then there's, then maybe a red pixel, and maybe there's 100 of them. And so that's how images, that they would call raw, so these massive pictures, get shrunk down to small sizes, and that's called vector processing, actually. So they're but still, the point that I'm trying to get at is I want you to understand what's happening when you shrink something. So they use a mathematical algorithm that basically says, hey, I hear this piece of music, and this sounds an awful lot like this piece in this file, so I'm going to combine them. And it chops out the stuff in the middle. And so you're losing, i.e. lossy, you're losing chunks of audio in there for the sake of, it doesn't matter because there's not enough of it anyways to matter. Again, it's a lossy compression. So I hope that makes sense to you. So they're literally looking at that, mathematically looking at the file and saying, okay, well, this is the major parts of the audio that we see, most data, if you will, and then these little chunks in between, we're gonna drop them. Drop them. Drop them. It just blows me away. So part of the song that an artist spent, and a producer and an engineer spent, God knows how much time on to get sounding perfect, you just ripped it apart. And you're not even listening to what they did. That's where my problem is. I'm not listening to the original shit. That bothers me. Just bothers me. FLAC doesn't do that. It uses a different type of compression, and it is a lossless compression. So it does not cut any part of the music out. It actually recreates. And it takes a little more, it taxes your system a little bit more, uses a little bit more CPU, but at the end of the day, you get far better, result. Now, far better CPU. I mean, we're talking minute you know, processing power. So there's your digital format. So if everything turned to FLAC, if I was force-fed download and it was all FLAC, I could probably tolerate that, because at least then I would have a lossless compression. I'd have real, honest to God, high fidelity, good sounding audio. Now, let's move on to, I'm going to sidebar digital for a minute. Let's move on to the famous, or should I say infamous, CD versus LP. The audiophiles of the world will turn around and say, oh, LP's the best in the world and it's analog. Man, fuck you. Fucking analog. You know, look, I got no problem with analog. I'm in my mid-50s, guys. I grew up on analog. Analog's all I had until digital was invented. I watched it. I helped it, get invented. The fact of the matter is we've made improvements. So, vinyl. Classic. I grew up with it. I've got 1,000 records, sitting over there. I don't know how many I have. Over 1,000, 100,000, who knows? A crap load. And in those pieces of vinyl, they sound good. But I'll be honest, I don't miss his Crackle Pop, my Rice Krispies, and my frickin' record collection, And I don't care how good of a frickin' system you have. Matter of fact, the better the system, the more shit pops out. So, then you end up saying, oh, you can get a pop reducer. Well, I can do that digitally, Or how about not have it at all with a CD? So that is my single complaint with vinyl. And, they make these, $1,000, $2,000 record cleaners. They actually put the record in each time and it washes it. Of course, then it's going to screw up your label, by the way. But, it washes it and vacuums it and does all this fancy shit. And I'm still thinking to myself, I'm like, you're going through all this trouble just to listen to, to something that you think sounds better. Guys, fact. This is just fact. The dynamic range. What's dynamic range? All right, it's the lowest point in the music, softest point in the music, to the loudest point in the music. Do you realize that vinyl, the best vinyl in the world, is under 90? It's in the 80s, typically. The best. I don't care if you spent, there are turntables. Idiots spend $100,000 on a turntable. I'm saying idiots. Audiophile idiots. Look, I'm an audiophile. I'm not an audiophile idiot. Anyone who spent $100,000 on a turntable is an asshole. Sorry, it's the way I feel about it. And I'm sure most of you agree with that. And the 0.000001 that doesn't agree with you, go F yourself. I don't care. We don't care about you. Sorry. Go away. Needs of the many outweigh the needs of the few. Sorry, it was a Spock thing. There you go. So, in dynamic range, if you're a classical fan, which I'm really not, but 1812 Overture, the big cannons going off the end, boom, that's like 128 dB explosion that actually happens. So in vinyl, you just compress. Remember, every 3 decibels is a halving of sound. So it's either twice as loud or twice as soft. So 80 versus, let's just say 128, 130 decibels. That's a pretty goddamn big stretch. 50 decibels worth. Remember, every 3 dB is a doubling of sound. You're losing all that dynamic range in the vinyl world. So, man, you vinyl lovers, it sounds so smooth. Of course it does. Compressing living shit out of everything you're hearing. So, there you go, analog. Eat that. Digital. Here's where I'm going to say, guys, sorry, CD. It's digital. It's still a digital format. Here's what I'm going to say about this. For those of you naysayers on the CD, and you will be vinyl lovers, no doubt in my mind. So if I'm hitting you right now, then you can curse at me right now. I don't give a shit what you do. But I'm going to laugh at you anyway. Because here's the deal. No CD player, no 2 CD players are equal. All CD players are not equal. There's a lot of crap out there. The old ones, forget it. If you have an older player, 10 years older and older, throw it in the trash. Pick it up. I don't care how much you paid for it. Pick it up, unplug it, throw it right in the garbage can. It's trash. It's garbage. If you've bought one in the last 5 years, hopefully you've bought a reputable brand, a quality brand. Marantz. I personally have a Marantz. Denon. Something that is high quality. If it's not, this is going to sound snobbish. I don't care. If it's not $500 and up, you don't have a good player. Period. The end. I paid a couple grand for mine. And you know what? It sounds it. It kicks the shit out of anything else that I've ever heard. Huge, huge, huge difference between even brands of CD players. The converters, Burr Brown converters, Shark converters. I mean, there's all different, types, brands that are, and some will even argue, the audio snob files will say, oh, I can hear the difference between a Burr Brown. Fuck you, you can. You can't hear shit. I mean, guys, we're talking differences that, that a bat could hear barely, or a cat. You're a human. You could hear 20 to 20K. If you're blessed and you've never heard loud music in your life, or an infant, you might hear 20 to 20K. You might hear a couple over or under. As we sit as middle-aged adults, you can't hear it. Sorry. Your hearing doesn't go to 20K. I don't care how much you think it does not. So, that being the case, we're dealing with a very, range of a piano. I mean, a piano is roughly 20 to 20K. So, you could hear less than that. Now so we're really splitting hairs. So, I need to make that 20K sound as good as possible. I want the dynamic range as if it were recreated, that explosion from the cannon. I'm a metalhead, all right? So, I want to hear chunk into the guitar in one of those amplifiers, I want to hear and feel, that every string, that pick hits, and just a good CD player, good with great dynamic range, great signal to noise ratio, that is quality. And there's a lot more, guys. I don't want to get into the filtering. The filtering is really where it matters, and what the old players, some people said, oh, digital sound, CD sounds harsh. It sounded harsh because they were absolute shit. There's a mathematical reason as to why. If I had a whiteboard right now, I could sit down and explain it to you. You'd fall asleep on me. You wouldn't care. The fact of the matter is, trust me, there's a mathematical reason as to why the old brick wall filters sounded like crap, and it sounded harsh. And it was because of those brick wall filters. So the filtering that happens today happens at frequencies so freaking high that it's analog, very analog-like. So here's the next argument for the CD. All right, so the CD player is 16-bit, 44.1 kilohertz. So those of you who are watching my channel at all, obviously we're doing digital audio workstations. We're doing the actual, the creation of. So if you're doing 44.1 16-bit, you're pretty much recording at the lowest resolution that you would ever record at. Most of us record 24-bit at 41 or 48 kilohertz, and then there's a few that do 88.1 or 96K at 24-bit. And there's rare few that do the 192. That's just so freaking overkill. It's not even funny. So quite honestly, guys, 96K, it's not overkill. It's overkill for most applications, but if you've ever heard an SACD, Super Audio CD, or DVD audio, it is jaw-dropping. Or the new Blu-ray formats they're doing also in the high-res, what they call high-res formats. They're jaw-dropping. There's nothing on this earth that sounds like them. I mean, just throw vinyl, throw regular CDs, throw it all out for those. So that is my absolute favorite. I think it's an insane. If you've never heard it, you need to experience it. And they have it in 2-channel and multi-channel. I love multi-channel. Why that never took off is just beyond me. Surround sound is, we have 2 ears, but we hear in surround. I mean, it's, so you could say, oh, we got only 2 ears, 2 speakers, F off. If you want to recreate the environment, there's all kinds of stuff going on if you can recreate it with surround. Now, don't get me wrong, I've heard shitty surround mixes, good ones, but it's still, it's a cool format. If it's done well, it can be far better than just stereo. But I'm digressing. Let's get back to, stereo, 2-channel, CD stuff. So I spoke my piece about the quality of a CD player. It's huge. You cannot, again, old player, throw it away. Get a new one. Now, compare that new player, that Marantz. I have a Marantz. I love Marantz. Just good stuff. There for a while, they weren't doing so hot, but they're all part of the Denon and that whole crew now. But they're good quality without breaking your bank, and spending $100 grand on a dummy piece. I mean, a piece of equipment. So, you're getting the best you can hear anyways. So I had a friend of mine, John, who was unsure of that, and he was, resurgence in the vinyl. Oh, I got to listen to it, and he was like, oh, I got to say, I think the vinyl sounds better. I said, oh, John, do yourself a favor. How old's your CD player? What do you have? He said, I have an old Pioneer, and it's, I don't know how old it is, 15, 18 years. I said, throw it in the trash. And he kind of hesitated for a minute. He was, what do you mean? I said, throw it in the trash. Go buy a new one. So he did. He went and bought a new one. I can't remember if he bought a Yamaha. It may have been a Yamaha. I don't remember. It was Yamaha. I pointed him to a couple. Sony ES. Their ES line is fairly good. At least used to be. I'm not sure. I haven't heard one in a while. But Marantz, they had dead on. And anyways, he ended up with one, and he called me back. He didn't even email. He called me back. It was like, oh my God. He said, I see what you mean now, and literally changed his tune in a matter of, no pun intended. Piss poor comedy from Jim Slick, folks. Welcome to 2018. But yeah, he immediately changed his tune on that and said, oh my God, I cannot believe how much better the CD sounds, the dynamic range and everything. It was just there. And, oh yeah, no Rice Krispies, snap, crackle, pop. So, guys, you need, let's, in the analog world, some of the old turntables, my turntable's hellish old. It was actually the first piece of gear that I ever got. I was like 12, 13 years old when I got this turntable. SLQ1 from Techniques. Techniques makes a great turntable, but when it made that, it was the first quartz direct drive turntable that was ever made. And to this day, even in the audiophile community, it's still a highly regarded turntable. So, why change it? I mean, it's quite honestly, for Rice Krispie playing, it's great enough for me, but no, it's deadly accurate. The wow and flutter, which is, I don't even want to get into turntable shit. It's crazy. Don't walk across the floor too much. You'll bounce the needle. I always loved that when I was young. Don't walk. I'm taping that on the tape, Holy shit. That's fucking insanity. Put a CD in. What's wrong with you people? All right, so you got my opinion. From an audio standpoint, in my opinion, it's quieter, better dynamic range, overall good sound. It's a high enough resolution. Oh, let me touch on the last point, and this is the other audio nerds, the audiophiles, I can't remember, Chris, you had a name for him, but it was audio. I better not say it. It's a foul word. Don't say the foul word. A foul word could be a robin or an owl. That would be foul. Bird. Oof, God, I'm getting worse. It's not drugs, folks. It's work. This is what work does to you in your 50s. It turns you into a mental case with poor jokes. So, anyways, another argument for the CD. CD samples, because I had mentioned before, 16-bit, 44K. So, 44,100 times per second. Think about that number. It's all right. So if I take a second, and make it this big, carve that up into 44,100 chunks. That's the number of samples that it's taking for 1 second of music. Now, 16-bit means that's the number of bits for each sample. So bits, think of bits as it's part of the resolution factor. So you have two things. Obviously you have how many chunks, how many pictures. Look, a moving picture, a movie. It's 30 frames a second in a movie. 26, 28,
30. It could be higher, but 30.
So 30 frames a second, and it looks pure motion. It's pure motion to all of us humans. 30, not 3,000, not 300, not 3 million. 30 frames a second, and your brain thinks that you're watching motion picture. You're not. You're watching 30 individual pictures in succession. And that, folks, is, it's a moving picture. So let's get on with the whole, resolution of audio. 44,100 times in a second. All right? For your ears, the human ear. It's sampling. Now, it's using 16-bit resolution to sample that. So 16-bit resolution. Let's look at a bit. So in binary, we're talking binary, guys. So binary is a base 2 system. I know this video is getting long, but I'm hoping it really explains the differences. And I'm nerdy with this shit. Just love it. It's the math part of me, I guess. Whatever. So all right. So let's look at 3 bits. All right. So if I have 3 zeros, the number 0. So 001 is 1. 010 is 2, 011 is 3, 100 is 4, 101 is 5, 110 is 6, 111 is 7. So there's 8 bits. All right. I counted to 8 in binary for you using 3 digits. Pretty fucked up, huh? Wild stuff. That's how audio works. So that was 3 bits. I counted to 8. So as you go up 4 bits, 5 bits, 6 bits, 16 bits. So you start to see the amount of resolution that you have. And I have to sit down, guys, and do the math. I don't remember what the number is offhand. So if one of you guys wants to post it there, that would be cool. So at 16 bits, the point is you're getting an incredible amount. So think of that as the volume, okay? So that's your dynamic range in that 16-bit. So the sample is the picture. So that's the amplitude or the amplitude note, etc. And then you have your bit resolution, which of course is your volume and other parameters. It breaks down way more complex than that. I'm trying to keep this as simple as possible for this simple video of explanation and the argument between the formats. So let's not turn it into a discussion of, oh, he said that fucking it's 1 bit off. Fuck you. I don't care. So so understand that you physically, yes, there are pieces missing out of that. There are pieces technically missing. But they're not missing. It's an estimated. So you have point, and that point makes a curve. Well, in analog, I know when you're listening, yes, it's a curve. But guys, 44,100 times a second, you can't hear it. It's like the motion picture thing at 30 frames a second. It sounds like pristine audio. It is pristine audio for us humans. Maybe there's a cat out there, a special breed of dog, that can go, oh, listen to that shit. What the fuck are they doing? Vinyl sounds so much better. Okay, woof. Oh, good for you. Fucking Fido. Go in your pen and eat your dog food and take a shit. So that's what I feel about that. So we humans that are listening to this stuff and paying for our music, don't steal music, by the way. That's a piece of shit steals music. Fucking real people buy their music. So, and if you're one of those people who steal it and you took offense to that, get the fuck off my channel. There you go. Buy your music. If you want to hear new music, you got to pay these people so they can write freaking more music so they can appease us all, as opposed to, those of you who steal. So, there. Another opinion from Jim. A lot of them came out today. Hey. All right. Anyways, so we're back to the formats. So you can see, after just, granted, my opinion, but still being an audiophile, guys, it's a 9,000 pair of speakers behind me. I listen to these things. Atom Audio. That's 3XHs. Freaking things are insane. And even Chris, who's holding the cameras right now, it was not an audio guy at all. And I can't hear the difference. And I sat him down for 5 minutes, and I played an MP3, and I played a wave, that was ripped. It was torn. It was ripped from a CD. And he even went, oh my God. I mean, Chris, am I right?
Yeah, a lot of depth.
So it is an unbelievable difference. Of course, when you're listening on, the proper equipment, you're going to hear it a lot more than others. The fact that you can hear it at all means you can hear it. So, again, MP3 lossy, don't give me that crap as my final ultimatum, because maybe that's when I'll just intentionally deafen myself, with a fork or a knife or something, and so I don't have to listen to any of the bullshit anymore. Do I like a digital download if I was forced to take flack? If I was forced to do it, fine. I want it on my machine so I could back them up and keep them, safe, secure, because it was my money that paid for it. I don't trust any of the cloud servers. Sorry, it is what it is. I still prefer a CD. I can rip it down. and make an MP3 for portability. And if I want to hear it in high res, I can listen to it in high res. And quite honestly, if a box set comes out, for example, and several, there have been some Rush things like 2112 was redone. It was kick-ass, by the way, in Blu-ray 96K. My God, if I have that, now I get the best of all worlds. Now, if I want to listen to true audiophile, I can. If I want to listen to, CD with, great, good audiophile stuff, great, I can do that. If I want to rip it to freaking shit MP3, I can do that too for the car. I have it all. That's what I think and why I think that CD should survive. I've already given my opinion. Look, vinyl has its place. It's cool. It's nerdy. I think it's a fad, in my opinion. We haven't done it in a long time. There was something neat about taking the big, vast, take the big pictures, read the big liner notes, and all that stuff. Yeah, that was nice. I mean, I don't need I still need my glasses to read them anymore, but there was something that was unique. I don't miss getting up and flipping the thing. I don't miss the snap, crackle, pop, Rice Krispies. I don't miss the frickin' flipping the goddamn record to get to side 2. And if it's a double, then you got, 2 frickin' things, the 3 flips to do before you hear the end of it. That annoys the shit out of me. I'm lazy. It is what it is. I work hard. I work 12 plus hours a frickin' day, damn near 7 days a week, sometimes 7 days a week. I don't need to be getting up to flip my frickin' vinyl. Sorry. I want to relax and listen to pristine music. So that's my bitch and my argument between CD and vinyl. I think CD just hands its ass to it. So, and those of you who disagree, hey, you're entitled to your opinion. You may be an idiot, but you're entitled to your opinion. So, so be it. I'm kidding. No, I'm not. I guess I am. I don't know. Whatever. Take it as you will. If you have a preference to it, it's your thing. It's your thing, man. I'm not going to rip on you for that. I may bust on you. It's okay. But, if that's your thing, it's your thing. It's all good. But I still think CD is king. Still think CD should be purchased and sold. Digital format, the people that want it, great. But don't freaking turn us people off that are willing to spend more money to get the final product in our paws so we can put it on our CD. I have way too many, guys, by the way, CDs. I mean, just way freaking too many. But the fact of the matter is it's mine. It's tangible. It's mine. I have it forever. And my kids will have it. I mean, even if they rip it to it's you have copies, if you will, permanent. So that's my opinion on the whole thing. I think the CD should not be moved out. I think it should remain. I think people should continue to buy them. Yeah, it's a little bit more money, all right? So buy 2 less CDs in a month. Ooh, whoopee-doo. Can you handle it? How about not go to McDonald's once a month and you just covered your difference, Or how about don't go to the frickin' bar, every goddamn night and spare your liver and so, there's ways to pay for the CD, folks. And by the way, I order mine through Amazon. I get them through various places, some local shops and the like. But, you can have it now, too. It's not quite as instantaneous as the other is. But, I mean, if you do it buy them on Amazon, half the time they have the auto rip anyways, where you can download it instantly. So your CD comes in the mail, and you do have it on MP3. So that way, again, you have best of both worlds. And you have that permanent copy. So I know I rambled on. It's a subject that I'm very passionate about, and I mean, we studio nuts, who have the stuff that's making music for the world to listen to, I'm amateurish compared to some of these guys. I mean, one of my favorites of all time. As I almost tore my keyboard completely off, as in my controller keyboard. Art of Science Sound. I mean, that's. I mean, what does one say? About Dark Side of the Moon. When you listen to Dark Side of the Moon, I mean, it's near perfection. I mean, Alan Parsons is a freaking brilliant man. So I think a guy like that, he's taking all his time and his talent to give you the best possible product. I think you owe it back to him and the artist, of course, behind it to to have the best formats that just work. So I'm a Blue Oyster Cult freak. Always have been from the time they came out. I'm sitting here looking at Buck's picture and signed to me, the Two Jim thing, and a couple of stuff around. Guys from Winger, fantastic folks. The folks from Toto, my God, I can't say enough about them. They're just they're wonderful people and some of the most amazing musicians I've ever met, I've ever seen. Had the privilege of seeing in my life, and would go again. I mean, when you hear the quality and the musicianship and it brings tears to my eyes when I'm listening to it, and it also brings tears to my eyes when I know people aren't listening to it, in the fullest fidelity when they should be. And again, in the car it's different, but at home, it makes me ill to even think about that. So. Anyways, that's my opinion. I hope you folks have a wonderful Tuesday. I need to get freaking back to work. So I've rambled on enough about a very, very sore subject. It's a hot topic. It's been a hot topic for a number of years, but it's also a sore subject with me because I just feel that there's better ways to listen to audio than a stinking MP3. And again, it has its purpose, but you fill in the blank from there. Folks, have a wonderful day. We will be at NAMM. Summer NAMM is a fun show. If you've never been to it, go. Deadline for free badges, by the way, is tomorrow, Wednesday. So if you don't get your free badge, you're going to be spending, I don't know, 70, 80, 60, 100 bucks. I don't know what the hell it is to get in. If you call me, call our store, 570-371-5800 today, not tomorrow, today, and I'll get you a badge in the door, if that's what you need. I do have a limit to how many I can get, of course, but if you're serious about seeing our stuff, serious about coming and seeing the show and supporting the Summer NAMM show, it's a great show, guys. It's not a cluster like the Winter NAMM show is. I mean, yeah, Winter NAMM's big. I know 110,000 people show up, and only 11,000 show up. This one, it's 10 times smaller. I don't care. It's an intimate show. It's a very good show. You have time to see everything, and spend time with people so you can actually understand what they do, as opposed to going, okay, yeah, and practically running through the whole damn exhibit for 4 days. This is a 3-day long thing. So, Summer NAMM. Chris, what booth are we at?
I thought it was 334.
334. That's it. 334. So we are actually right in the Pro Audio. There's a new Pro Audio section. To basically, there's gonna be like tables and chairs, little food vendor thingy there. And we are like literally it's flat in the fucking middle of that thing, it's great. Personas is right across from us. They've been a wonderful Rick Knockfee and crew. Hi guys, if you're watching this at all, they're amazing, amazing folks. They make amazing products, they really do. Studio One 4 just came out, by the way. Check that out, and if you haven't checked out the Quantum products, you really need to. They're just insane. They're insane. They sound freaking great, and they're fast as hell. Nobody's paying me to do this. I'm saying it because I genuinely like it. So there's a reason why. Jim doesn't get paid to do things like that. I could care less. I'm going to speak what I feel is the right thing. So if I like it, I'll tell you. If I don't like it, you either won't hear me say it, or I'll tell you that sucks. So, but anyways, that's good stuff. So come see us at NAMM. If you can't do that, you can certainly give us a call. You can chat with us, chat with one of the sales folks on our web store, store.slick.audio. You can also get there from www.slick.audio. In the menu at the top, far right link, I believe it is store. And click on that, take you to store.slick.audio. There's a chat portal there. You can get with somebody. Remember, we're open Monday through Friday, 9 to 5. Yes, I know that sounds short. We are in the office. Usually not much before. We're not morning people. None of us are. What musician was ever a morning person, right? But we are usually there later just in case. That doesn't mean we're always going to answer the phone. Sometimes we can't. I mean, we get busy, Leave us a message, man. We'll get back to you. I promise. I really do. I promise. We'll get back to you quick. So it's not I'll leave a message 7 days later. They haven't called me back yet. If that ever happens, I'm firing and some bitch does it. So anyways, so I hope you come visit us. Give us a call, give us a chat, send us an email at sales@slick.audio. If you want to curse it at us, you can. I might curse back. But if you just want to give a call and say, hi, love your product, hey, whatever, or I think you should do, or hey, would you do a video? Actually, that's a good idea. How about send some ideas, man, as to what you want to hear from my big mouth, and I'll be glad to talk on the topics as long as I have, some real knowledge to give you. If I don't have real knowledge to give you, I'll just be honest and say I don't have any good knowledge to give you, but I hopefully should be able to point you in the right direction, the person who could get that information. So you're in the game a while, you meet a lot of people, and it's a good thing. So anyways, folks, have a wonderful Tuesday, and we'll hopefully be doing another podcast, broadcast, whatever kind of frickin' cast, multicast this is. That was a networking term. I can't promise tomorrow, but Thursday we definitely should be able to get it one. And we're going to try to be a lot more consistent. I know you've heard me say that about 7 million times, but it's, as I don't know if you can tell, but we're redoing the studio here where I do these broadcasts at. And it's coming along, and I'm waiting to show pictures until we're done, and we're real close. Another couple weeks, we ought to have everything buttoned up and working, but it's going to be fairly impressive. It's a small little studio, but it is what it is. Take care, man. Be good. Peace. Safe. God bless. And talk to y'all soon.